Where are we now on the budget from the minority perspective?
You know, for those of us who believe in the rule of law, and you are a lawyer, so you know that even if you do the wrong thing in court and a judge wrongly upholds it, for the meantime, we assume that the wrong ruling subsists until it is set aside. So that is why we took the steps to set aside what the Speaker did with the majority side on Tuesday. So all the effort since yesterday and today has been to get the decision setting aside our vote rejecting the budget and policy statement to also be annulled. That is what we're seeking to do now. The argument is that in the interim, until we're able to do that, you know, technically the policy, what they did will subsist. People ask, so if the Speaker returns, is he able to also, you know, on his own set aside what the majority purported to do? I think that is open to some debate, because
the Speaker can on his own
because
make a ruling. Because
I listened to the first Deputy Speaker, and my understanding of his position now is that the vote rejecting the budget was not set aside on the basis of a motion moved by Chairman Sobonsu, the majority leader. The claim, and I was on a platform, I think TV3, with the information minister, and he argued that their position legally really is that the Speaker did not allow the motion moved by Chairman Sobonsu, and that was why he also didn't allow the motion moved by Honorable Haruna.
Oh, they did not allow it?
Yes, that's what they are claiming.
So what has happened to
they are claiming that
the rejection?
They are claiming that the Speaker took cognizance of the purported illegality of the vote on Friday, and on his own, in exercise of his powers as Speaker, set aside what had happened.
On the basis that Parliament did not have
on the basis that Parliament did not have one half
to make a determination.
So if his Speaker, Suomotu, on his own, without a motion being moved and without a vote by the entire House, can set aside a decision of the House, no matter how wrong he felt the decision was, it means that if the substantive Speaker also comes, he too can Suomotu set aside his decision, setting aside, you know, the vote. So I believe that where we are going, we are walking a very dangerous, you know, situation. That's just to put it mildly. And when you see the reaction in the House, it's because people feel that there's no certainty, because we don't seem to be following the rules. And so if you're not following the rules, then people resort to all sort of, you know, rowdy, you know, behavior, and it becomes, you know, who shouts loudest and all that. So it is important that, you know, speakers pay attention to the rules. If you observe Bagwin style, when there's a controversy, he will withdraw, and then he will write a very detailed ruling, giving the reasons, citing authority, which provisions he's relying on, so that when you take it and you read it, you can make sense of why he has ruled that way. I mean, in this instance, we're not even sure whether he ruled or he didn't rule. If you ask us where's the copy of the ruling, we don't even have the copy of the ruling to see whether
that the Speaker said he gave.
Yes, the Speaker said he gave.
Which is to preclude the motion from the leader.
Yes, if
you don't have the record of the ruling.
No, I mean there's a debate.
But
I told you the official reporters said that there was no ruling. The official reporters said there was no ruling.
But that's what he was seeking to correct, that there was a ruling.
And where is the copy of the ruling?
Because they didn't capture it. They should go back to look at the video and
that's what I'm saying, that if you follow the practice of Alban Bagwin, when there's a serious controversy, for the records, he will withdraw. Even the day that he put the question, the Friday, you notice that he withdrew.
Suspended
sitting for 5 minutes, went and did about 30 minutes, came back with an elaborate written ruling. And what we do is that at the end of session, we compile all those rulings so that they become like precedents, like law reports, so that we know that on this issue, this speaker ruled this way. On that issue, this other speaker ruled that way. And this is the practice. But in this instance, there was chaos. We didn't know what the ruling was, the basis of the ruling, the reasoning behind the ruling. It's not clear. And so when you do that, you create chaos in the House. And then you now blame the backbenchers when they become chaotic.
When is Speaker Babin coming back?
We don't know when he's coming back. I mean, I don't know when he's coming.
Okay,
I'm sure
so,
maybe the
tomorrow Parliament
clerk, the clerk will know.
Parliament
yeah,
will
we'll sit. We've been sitting. The policy is that we will go ahead and then we'll have committee sittings. We'll look at the estimates for the various sectors, and the reports will be written. And then the key issue now, really, the key issue now is the e-levy.
Yeah.
The key issue is the e-levy. The minority still has an opportunity to fight the e-levy. Because no matter what, the e-levy has to come in the form of an act of parliament, a bill.
Yeah.
And that bill has to go through the various stages of consideration, and then it has to be voted on. So the minority still have the opportunity to deal with the e-levy standing alone when it comes in a bill. And so we are not perturbed, because what we are fighting...
So it should come in its own independent bill.
Yes, it has to come...
It cannot form part of the Appropriation Act,
no,
eventually,
no,
through the estimates.
No, it has to come on its own independent act, a bill.
An LI?
An act.
A proper bill?
A proper bill. And then we'll take it through. You see, you cannot...
So if the Ministry of Finance wanted to amend the petroleum tax bill, that, for instance, it has to come in a separate bill?
Yes.
If they want to add more
yes, they have to come in a separate bill.
Oh, I see.
You see, the appropriation is an act which indicates how much money you can take and spend in a given year. But if you have a policy that says we want to tax, you will have to bring a bill to tax. Now, if there's already an act allowing you to tax and you want to increase the tax, then if the act says that you should tax through an LI, then you have to bring an LI. So as we speak,
the ESLA, for instance, was a bill?
There's an act, but then the specific amount usually will be contained in an LI. So as we speak, there are actually two tax policies in this budget statement and policy for 2022. The first one is the e-levy. The second one, which is equally dangerous, but which hasn't been given that much attention, is that government is proposing to increase all existing levies and charges. Almost all existing levies. Every sector that is contained in the fees and charges LI. There's a fees and charges LI, which spells out all the charges and fees to be paid for government services. So if I'm a student of the University of Development Studies, all the fees that I pay is actually captured in an LI. It's not the university arbitrarily charging. They will have to bring to Parliament an LI, and then the finance minister will shepherd it through Parliament for them, and then it is approved. The same way when you go to Lands Commission, all the processing that you're doing there and the payments you are making are all captured in an LI. So what the government has decided to do is to increase all those charges by 15%. So there will be an LI to that effect before it can come into force. The same way for the electronic transactions levy, it has to also come in a separate act of parliament. So at that point, the minority will have another opportunity to fight specifically that electronic transaction levy. That's why today you notice that, well, we said, okay, we'll still go on challenging the speaker, but the process of, committee work on the estimates will continue. We will participate because we need to be there to check what happened in terms of the appropriations that were made for last year. Yeah. Before we can consider what you are proposing.
So you participate in the debates?
Yeah, we will participate in the estimates for the consideration of the estimates for the sector ministries. And then when it comes to the e-levy, when the bill comes, our position is that we will not support the e-levy and we will vote against it. If on that day the minority succeeds I mean, clearly the E-levy would have been defeated. If the majority on that day is able to marshal all their 138
without with Speaker
Bagwin,
Bagwin,
Speaker Bagwin is still is back. If he's still not there, we will take a position that
they can't count a sitting speaker.
They can't count a sitting speaker. So what will happen is that it will be 137 majority members and 137 minority members. And once there's equal votes, the vote is deemed to have been lost.
Wow.
So we don't know whether we want we don't know whether we want Speaker Bagwin to come back before that day or not. But if he doesn't come back, if he doesn't return to Ghana before that day, the position of the minority will be that this is 137 NDC, 137 MPP, and the motion is lost.